Hey, I'm back. All right, so in this video, I'm giving you a walkthrough for Common Lit. It'll go through the lesson features, all the different buttons you can press to help you out. Make sure you watch this the first time you do it. I will be posting other Common Lit introductions, so make sure you watch those. But this one kind of is more detailed and gives you what each of the features do. I won't go through in as much detail each time I give one of these videos, but for this one, it is a little bit long. Watch all of it. That way, in the future, you'll be more comfortable using Common Lit. All right, good luck. Here is today's lesson. When you go to Common Lit, this is the screen that you will see. So let's take a look. Right here, we have the intro. Every time you get a new article, this introduction will come up, and I'll read it for you. Anne Marie Reedy is an educator and author based out of Washington, D.C. Laura's Key shares the story of a young girl who feels defeated after her experiences with her sixth grade soccer team. Here's our focus and the same thing as our objectives. In this lesson, you'll practice analyzing theme. Analyzing theme means paying attention to topics or big ideas that come up in the text. As you read, take notes on how Laura's attitude changes throughout the story and what message this reveals. So again, theme, something we've done before for sure. What the author's message is about a topic, theme, the message. So let's take a look. All right, so you'll see a few things right away. Here's your Common Lit home screen or home link. You have a few notifications possibly. Whatever the due date is, I think yours will be April 17th. And it'll say assignment in progress. And for your class, this is my test class, so it'll say whatever class you have right here. So the first thing you'll notice is that you have a few different, maybe not the first thing. The next thing you'll notice is that you have a few different font sizes. This will help if you have a hard time seeing small letters. I'll probably keep it at 2. Another cool option, next thing you'll notice is some of our assistants here and annotations. Woohoo, annotations. So you can have the option to read this whole article out loud with the read aloud option here. You'll be able to translate it. So if you want to practice your Spanish, translate it, but make sure you translate it back to English so you can do this correctly. And finally, you have annotations. So right here, you can select text to highlight or add annotations. I do expect you to do this because that is one of the ways that we show our close reading skills. So let's see, for example, this says, at Piedmont Middle School, a kid could run track or play tennis, but everyone wanted to be on the soccer team. So if I highlighted this here, I could add in a highlight color, use pink, and then I could add in, highlight again, and add in an annotation. So maybe I can say Piedmont is all about soccer. Okay, I'll press done. And I, as your teacher, can actually go back and see your annotations for the article. Now, if you notice, you've read through this first 5 or 15 lines here, and you get to blurred letters. Before you move on in your writing or in your reading in Common Lit, we have guiding questions. So it says here, your teacher has turned on guiding reading mode. For this assignment, please click on the Q1 or question 1 icon to answer the guiding questions as you read. Once you're finished answering the guiding questions, you'll then be prompted to begin the assessment. So after you read this, you've taken your annotations, you've highlighted, you've done your gifs. Now you pause for a reading check. So you'll press Q1. On the side, you have your guiding question. This is one of 7. So you'll know that you have 7 total guiding questions in this article. After you've read it, you'll pick your answer, and this shows me how well you're comprehending the text. I'll get the notification of your response, and if you got it correct or incorrect. And then after you answer, so I'll just choose A. Oh, it's the wrong answer. Well, maybe let's go back and read. Maybe let's try, see, she messes up. She's surprised. Maybe it's C. No, not C. Wow, it's still not going forward. So the correct answer is going to be B. Now notice half a star was gained because I did not get it fully correct. So that'll show you and I how well you're reading. You'll continue on and get to the next question as you read. After you go through, so at the end of your guiding questions, you'll press continue. It says, congratulations, you've completed the guided reading questions. Out of 7 total questions, you earned 1 full star because you got 1 answer right the first try. On average, you guessed correctly after 2.9 tries. So since I was trying to quickly go through this, I just guessed randomly. And that'll show me as well if students are just guessing and not actually reading through it carefully. So please take your time. Before we begin assessment, if you notice as you were reading, there were numbers along the way, like number 13. It gives you an explanation of what that word means. So exoskeleton, there's 13 there. A hard covering on the outside of some invertebrate animal to provide support and protection, skeleton on the outside of the animal. You can also find the list of notes on the bottom. Here's 13, and here is the definition. All right, so let's do our assessment. So right here, these are how I'll be grading on accuracy. Guiding questions are for participation. Accuracy comes from assessment questions. At some point, I have to know if you're really understanding this and how I can support you. So these are the ones that you'll be getting a grade on, so please do your best. I'm going to skip to the next part of the video, so that way you don't get all the answers. Sorry. Now, on this question, you can actually read this. Which piece of evidence best supports the idea that failure leads to growth and improvement? In these questions, you can actually go back to the paragraph that's being referenced in order to see if these quotations answer the question. Paragraph 51, paragraph 98, okay? So make sure you do that so you can get the context of where this quotation comes out of. Just like in our essays, context is really important. I'm going to skip to the next part of the video. Now, the last question in your assessment questions is a paragraph. We have to keep practice our writing. It's super important. Otherwise, if you don't use it, you lose it. Write a paragraph showing how Laura's attitude toward failure changes over the course of the story and what events cause those changes. Refer to 2 pieces of evidence to support your answer. So this is a RACIT, restate, answer, cite, context, comparison, and explain, right? We added that last one, that compare, to give us more of a style in our writing. For this one, just make sure you get the RACIT down. So again, you're showing how Laura's attitude toward failure changes over the course of the story. So ways that she saw how she failed and how her attitude towards the failure changed. Remember, the big topic of this unit is how failures can lead to success. And what events caused those changes? So what made her change? So how did her attitude change? And then what made her attitude change? How did it change and what made it change? Right, you give your answer here, and I'll skip to the next part of the lesson. Now, you will press submit once you are done. You will not be able to go back and revise your answers after you submit. So make sure, if you need to go back, press back again, and check your answers to make sure they're the best that you can give. Submit your assessment, and finally submit. All right, that's it for today's tutorial. Hope you do really well, and good luck.